Welcome to the Protein Bros podcast. On today's podcast, we have Josh and Hailee from Fit Truk. They are a brand new concept, which is a mobile gym that you can take anywhere, work out outside. A very, very cool concept. And they're just in the beginning stages of it. So we had them on today. We talked about basically what Fit Truk was, how they see themselves in the marketplace. And it's just cool to have a conversation with people that are at the beginning of something that seems like it can grow into such a big brand. So please like and subscribe. I think you guys are going to love this episode. Let's get you to it.
Just for starters, I just want to say, I'm a huge fan of the innovation. Doing something new in fitness is terrifying, because everybody's trying something and it's so hard to get it to catch, right? Sometimes there's really good things out there, really good products out there, but they just don't catch on. And then there's crap that catches on, and you're just like, how did that? You know what I mean?
Shake weight.
Very common.
Tone tugger. Wasn't that one?
Shake weight.
Shake weight. What are you thinking
Shake weight. The tone tugger? I don't even know if that was a real product. I think it was just a rip off.
I think you found that one at TJ Maxx.
No. I think you sent it to me, and it's pull it up, Luke.
No, I think that's their slogan.
Yeah.
You're thinking of the TJ Tugger off that TV show.
Dude,
I think you should leave.
It is inappropriate.
I think it might have been the wrong industry.
It's an inappropriate.
It's a knob on the front of his shirt, so whenever you pull your shirt, it doesn't rip your shirts.
You can play it, Luke. You can play it so everyone knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh God, dude.
It was actually the real commercial. But show it again, because it's really caught on.
Oh, wow.
Tug toner.
Yeah,
Tug
see what I'm
toner.
saying?
Oh, wowie.
It moves all around.
It does.
That guy was actually 150 pounds skinny before this.
You are just throwing out their slogans.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
is that
man.
It
shake
goes
weight?
all the way.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
This podcast has gone off the rails in the first minute. I am
Wow.
sorry. I apologize.
Listen, I think that is a sign. That's a sign of a successful podcast.
You know
When
what
in the
I'm
first
saying?
30
That's
seconds.
We got there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a real product. I'm sorry.
It wasn't? I think it was.
I don't think that was a real
I
product.
think that was a
Anyways, long
spoof.
story short, you guys did something that's innovative. It's hard to do something innovative in the fitness industry. We've watched lots of people try. And so here's my first question, because I have many, and I'm going to try to keep it consolidated here. But my first question, for example, another successful franchising in the food industry, for example, I think of Crumble Cookie. It's really exploded on the scene, right? If I were them and they hadn't had their systems all built and they were just going around letting everybody try their cookies, I would be afraid that someone's going to copy me. As in, you're fabricating, you're getting trucks that no one is manufacturing from the start. As in, you're getting a truck, you're stripping it, you're turning it into a Fit Truk. Are you guys terrified at all of proprietary? Is it proprietary or is?
Well, yeah. So
okay.
We have 25 plus patents that just got granted December 21st. So
Congratulations.
broad patents.
Thank you.
Yeah. So
We
it is
started that
protected.
process 6 months into
Day one.
We started day one pretty much, and it takes a long time to get them granted, but we're there. So we're in the testing period. We have to prove that we're using the concept. So we have that, and I'll tell you, if somebody else wants to build these trucks, go ahead, because it's not easy.
Yeah, go
Can
for
you-
it.
It seems straightforward, but we build those boxes from scratch.
We're not stripping trucks. We're building them from scratch.
Yeah, we take a cab chassis and we have a custom built box that's built for us, for that truck. And so we've gone through every inch of that truck to make sure everything's at the perfect height, everything's mounted correctly, everything is made out of the right material so it doesn't rust outside.
That's correct.
Can you real quick? Can you give our listeners maybe the elevator pitch for the Fit Truk? So listeners know exactly what it is that you guys have as far as the business model goes.
Yes, so we build and sell fully equipped mobile outdoor smart gyms. These trucks are the equivalent of anything you would have inside a gym. They're a rolling business. So not only do they have all the equipment you would have inside a gym, which you don't get anywhere else. There's a lot of trailers out there, other things. It's not a complete gym outdoors. Audio, video, lighting. So scene lighting, there's also underglow lighting for an experience like you'd have in a group exercise studio in a gym. Mm-hmm. And then we have an office. It's a rolling business. You can run your entire business off this truck. So you can do consults in the office. It's climate controlled. The whole dang thing runs off solar. So you don't have to have the truck running, and you can run.
Look
for
how
hours.
cool, man!
So,
Very cool.
That's the S2 workout, Kyle.
I know it grabs your attention on social very well.
Oh, dude, you guys also have, I forgot the word for it, is it like apparatus or, all the different like appendages on the side of the truck. The fact that you guys can do full dips and squats, and it's not a trailer where you're unloading everything. It's stuff that's literally attaching to the truck all over the truck. I mean, all over the corners.
Josh is the innovation guy, and then like applying our combined experience of working in and running and setting up gyms of 20 plus years. We thought, okay, we need to build this in a way that anyone can drive it, anyone can deploy it, anyone can stow it, because we didn't want to limit who our end user could be. And being a gym owner, if I thought, oh gosh, it's going to be too heavy to get something in or out, now that's going to limit who can buy the truck. We started thinking about what are all the problems and solving those problems right away. So takes a regular driver's license to drive it. Anyone can deploy it. Anyone can stow it in a matter of minutes. We know time is money. And so being able to, get things in and out quickly has been a part of the patent process. We have a lot of storage and hinging systems that are specific to our truck. And so, we've spent the last 2 years in R&D. So when you say, what if somebody copies you? We're already iterating.
Like, have fun.
We're the iPhone. So you want to come copy us? You're going to be copying last year's model or 2 years ago.
You're going to be Android.
Yeah,
right.
Because we're going to always be in front, because Josh doesn't sleep for that for that reason. We're always thinking ahead about how we're going to improve the end user experience. And I think one of the things that makes our product so unique is our industry experience. I've been in the industry for 20 years, and I have been sold products that were made by people who were not fitness people, thinking they're solving problems for fitness folks, and they're not. And the difference is we saw a problem, we saw an opportunity, we used innovation, we used just hard-earned gym experience and poured all of that into one product to revolutionize the fitness industry. I mean, the goal with us is to give more people the opportunity to own their own business, because we think that, small business ownership is the future. And also just give existing brick and mortar businesses the opportunity to be more impactful, to go out and serve communities they're not serving, to pick up corporate business that they're not currently picking up. So for us, it's not only a standalone business model for folks, but it's also an expansion for existing brick and mortar businesses. And that's been a really powerful tool for people.
Yeah, I think our biggest thing was getting a truck that an elite athlete can work out on, or a 90-year-old. And that doesn't exist anywhere else outdoors, for sure. Having all the equipment available that you can train anybody on it, and also do a large group on the truck with a lot of different fitness levels, and with the variety of equipment, you can still program the workout so everybody can do it.
Yeah, how many people were at the workout you all were at? 50,
probably
60?
Yeah,
at least 30 or 40.
Whole staff.
40, yeah, so we've had up to 55, 56 people on that truck, all different fitness levels, and everybody can get a great workout in and be able to do the same workout safely. And so that was the biggest goal, and it took a lot of time to get this stuff set up so all the angles were right, so you could use the squat rack the right way, so you could have a spotter there, so the cables were low enough that you could do any exercise you wanted to do on, and also to make it so it all deploys in literally minutes. We have a video on our social channel. We set up I think it was a 36-person workout, and it's 7 minutes. There were 2 of us. That's from the time we opened the doors, so opening the doors up on the truck to getting all the equipment deployed and set up for that workout, 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. So is the goal to, are you guys going to do like programming that you send out every single day for people who are, potentially in the future going to invest in this?
The end user, or is it?
Yeah. So we built this out with investors in mind, for sure. So we use CloudFit, which is a really good platform. There's no reason to reinvent the wheel there. And so with that, we can actually send down programming that people can access, so that we write. Also, if you're an investor and you want to hire, even if you're not a fitness person, you want to hire somebody that is, they could actually write all the workouts and control all the workouts that are happening on the truck. And then the trainers just access the library.
Yeah.
So we kept that in mind when we built this truck, is, we wanted to
people can do individual personal training on top of,
absolutely.
group class.
Yeah, if you're doing group classes in the morning, you should be training off the truck during the middle of the day, group classes in the evening to maximum. It's like it's similar to a gym.
Similar to a gym, except
they're going to program it the same way.
And the way it's set up and the amount of equipment we have on it, multiple trainers could train off the truck at one time.
Absolutely.
We have the technology in place to run large groups off the screens and timers, but you could also use it like you do a gym. You know, you'd have 4 or 5 trainers out there at least. I mean, we have a lot of equipment on these trucks, you know, enough to get 50 plus people on it, and everybody has equipment. And so, yeah, there's so many uses. I mean, we could be here for hours talking about all the different ways this truck can be used.
I want to also give some spotlight to, you know, Hailee, you were mentioning like truly thinking about every kind of end user and making sure everybody can use it. Luke, could you do me a favor? Could you go to one of their most recent videos? You guys had, what's the name of the organization with everybody's in a wheelchair, but it's like disabled but not really.
But not really.
Yeah.
Disabled but not
West
really.
Hamilton.
Yeah,
Amazing
Show us
workouts.
this, man. This is so cool. It was one of the top videos, Luke, like maybe the second to last post, maybe?
So what we found about the way that the truck we've set up the truck is that it's very accessible for people who ambulate in different ways. So whether you use a wheelchair or crutches or, you know, whatever, you can get up to the truck in a way that you can't even in a normal gym setting, right? Not only just getting into the gym, but using the equipment in the gym. So folks who use a wheelchair can get all the way against the truck. The way that the equipment lowers almost only a foot off the ground. All of that makes it so super accessible. And we have the ability to make modifications of all the equipment. And so what this group has found is that this is the most accessible fitness environment that they've been in, and they love that.
Wild. Is it on your guys' page or is it on a personal page?
I think it was on our Fit Truk code page.
yeah.
Should be.
This is it.
Okay.
So you can
Yeah.
see like a lot of the equipment can be modified in a way where folks who are using a wheelchair can just move right up to the truck, which is a major barrier for a lot of folks.
Right.
And then we've got some adapted items on the truck. So you saw those jump ropes. Josh did a really great job of working with the group and figuring out what everybody's different abilities were and then setting it up in a way that it could be used by everyone. So this works for folks with different abilities. It works for youth, right? Because we can make the equipment so short. It works for performance athletes. It works for active older adults, seniors. I mean, there's not a group that they can't use this product.
There's not one station around the truck that you cannot use in a wheelchair. So even the rowers, I don't know if you guys saw that, we broke the back half of the rower off and set it up on a box so you can still row. Squat racks, you can roll a wheelchair right up to them and actually backwards into the squat rack. There's enough room. Landmine stations. That workout, we had some athletes that were standing and some people in wheelchairs, and we actually did set a dip bar up different heights on each side of the truck. So we have 2 of them on that 4-row truck. And so, you know, and the cable's the same way. We have four cables on that truck. And so we didn't even have to move anything for anybody during the workout. We set up one workout and everybody did it. We really love working with them. They're a great organization. And I will tell you, I don't know if I've been with a group that works so damn hard. The last workout we did, one of the guys threw up because he was working so hard. I mean, every single person there was just giving it their all. So, I mean, a lot of fun.
You guys introduced me to that organization. I hadn't heard of Disabled, but not really.
Yeah, they're amazing. Wesley Hamilton is the founder, and Wesley speaks all over the country. Motivational speaker. He's got a great story, and just a great guy. And so what he's doing is it's really great work. He's this group they're a lot of fun. So
it looked like they had a blast,
yeah.
man. You guys put yourself in this position where now you have multiple people calling you, asking, what's next as far as like the trucks. What are the different levels, trim levels, if you will? If we're like buying a pickup truck, there'd be trim levels for you guys. I know you're working on different models. Is there any more that you can share on that as far as the different types of trucks you guys are gonna be able to sell?
Yeah, definitely. So right now we have a 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 version of the truck. So the one that you're seeing on our social channels is our 4.0 version. That's our biggest truck in the sense of everything that's on that truck, there's 2 of. That's everything, 2 squat racks, 2 cable stations, everything's 2 of. Our 3.0 model, we're actually building one for ourselves right now as a demo truck. And
it still needs just a driver's license, just standard
That's
driver's
right.
license.
Just a standard driver's license. There's a 360 camera system in the front so the driver can see all around them. I mean, we took everything into account.
Yeah, this is our 3.0.
Yeah.
So it's not replicated, but you still get the squat rack. You still get 2 cable stations. You get this functional training wall off the back, so you get the dip step, and then it's got the diamond-plated med ball wall, an anchor system. Everything still deploys out of the truck in the same way. You still still have the option to have an office, fully, equipped climate control office on the inside. The doors still work off the actuator. So you push a button, doors open, push a button, doors close. So for safety and setup, it's really fast and really accessible.
And also cool
as hell.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Let's
just say pressing that
Yeah.
button's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We got any slow-mos of that? Some fog machine coming out as we open.
Oh, good
Yeah.
idea, actually.
Yeah.
It's very
so
DeLorean.
That's actually an outdated rendering. I'm updating them right now because we put a lot more equipment on that truck. So it actually, that's the truck that has a ski erg on it, has an endless rope on it now, all kinds of stuff. So we reconfigured a little bit.
This is why when you say who's gonna catch you, I'm like nobody. Josh is iterating every 5
we
minutes.
reconfigured our box design a little bit. When we did, it freed up a lot of space, and I just kept digging into it and looking. Okay, we could put one more thing here. Then we could put one more thing here, and so we're actually looking at putting a rail all the way around the truck now. So if people could do suspension training classes off of it.
Right, so TRX straps everywhere.
Yeah,
on
right.
this.
Exactly. So you could do a full TRX class off the truck.
Are you?
So
That's
use it
what
for different formats.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is if you guys, are you guys doing any that are like maybe for different styles of training? Like a strength gym type style or like a CrossFit gym type style. You guys are going to have different.
Kyle's always going to find a way to include CrossFit in our podcast.
Understood.
Well,
It's just a rule of CrossFit.
But
if
you
you guys didn't know.
saw the way it was set up. It could absolutely be used
Well,
for
it's
a box.
basically already
Yeah.
that way,
Yeah.
but there would be probably just little minor things in each different types of training styles.
Yeah.
That looks more like it would be so great for like
Circuits,
when I think
group
about this, it's
classes,
like I think about the trainer that's been training for a long time. They're like, I want to start a business, but like maybe
right.
they aren't able to completely open
Yeah.
a gym, but they want to be on their own terms. And
Yep.
it looks like that would be something that they would be able to purchase and be like, all right, now I can get a couple trainers underneath me.
That's a great segue for the 1.0. So Josh has been iterating. So we've got the 2, the 3, and the 4, which are larger and are more expensive trucks. But for that sole proprietor who's looking to start a business, the 1.0 we're building right now. We're thinking about right now, and it's perfect for that trainer who's like, hey, I'm ready to make that next move. And I've been in the industry for 20 years, started as a trainer myself. I've seen lots of really amazing, smart, driven trainers fail as business owners. There's a learning curve there. And so what we wanted to do is give them a product, a tool, that they could start their business on, but the barrier of entry is not the same as opening a 5,000 or 10,000 square foot facility.
Yeah. Well, think about, you guys have already thought about this, but for the listeners, imagine, being able to be a personal trainer and you get a client and you're like, I'll actually just come to your house.
Yeah.
How big's your driveway?
And
That's
where the 1.0 comes in.
Yeah.
So it's going to be on a smaller chassis, Sprinter Transit, smaller like van type chassis, heavy duty of course, but much smaller, much more approachable from a price wise, but still a ton of equipment. We're looking to do some really cool stuff with this truck.
You can do small group training with that, no problem.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's going to be 20 plus people in a group easy still.
Oh, wow.
It's going to have a ton of equipment on it. It's just going to be a little bit more stripped down, a little different door design. We're not quite there yet, so I don't want to give too much away.
Sure.
We haven't gotten patents filed, but this is the truck that it will be a good international truck too. So our struggle right now. We've talked to
15 countries.
All over Europe, and Europe has very strict driver's license requirements for commercial drivers. So Europe, it's about 8,200 pounds. You have to have a special license over that. Here it's 26,000. So
America.
yeah. So our
My question is
Load it up.
how much would that? It sounds like it's a ton of work and a lot of proprietary changes to make that work internationally. Would it just be easier for someone just to get a harder license in Europe?
Potentially, but we're trying to take away. So the whole thing about Fit Truk is taking away all the barriers.
Right.
So it also allows me to put multiple boxes into a shipping container.
And it's not as easy as here we can get a CDL relatively easily.
So it's a process.
It's a process.
In Europe, you are a professional driver, so now you're a gym who has to hire a professional driver. It's an incompatible business
or
model.
have a professional driver. So
it's basically two different businesses.
Yes,
Yeah.
and so so we're like, okay, how do we solve that? So also it's a shipping issue, right? So we don't ship the
Can't ship a chassis.
vehicle itself. We would ship the box that they would then attach to a vehicle that meets all their emission standards and road driving standards, and it would be attached to the chassis there. And so then it gets that, empowers them, puts it into their hands in terms of all the other sort of like, minutia that is different country to country, and they might be neighbors, but what's happening in Germany and Italy are totally different. Right?
I mean, we could set up a manufacturing facility in a different country and do it that way. But with these small trucks, I wouldn't be able to handle that very well, for one, because I wouldn't be able to be there, have my hands on it, and see what's going on.
Josh would have to move to Europe.
These small boxes, the way we're designing them, they can go in a shipping container. They can hit there. Once they get there, a basic upfitter that does landscape beds for trucks in Europe will be able to mount these things to a truck. We'll send the vinyl and everything to custom wrap the cab. It'll probably be about maybe a week-long process, tops, if that.
To completely white label the truck.
And then the truck will be ready to go in a different country.
Yeah, getting it set up. So we would build it here, and then we would ship it, and then the upfitting process would take about a week.
Once it's arriving.
On site.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Have you guys researched what would be like the most lenient of the European countries? Because once it moves from country to country, it doesn't matter anymore, right?
Yeah. So
sometimes
they're all pretty tough. Just we've talked to a lot now.
Yeah.
There's some other countries we've had.
We've had some countries in the Middle East that have reached out, and they've basically said we don't have any restrictions.
Sure. Iraq, I could ship a whole truck to right now.
A vehicle, it's everything.
So the whole thing. So
there's also some like interesting loopholes with like the military. So we could import to a military base, and they could use it, say in Japan, for example, if there's a military base. And
it becomes U.S. law inside the military base, right?
That's right.
Exactly.
And so the requirements would be totally different. And so there's maybe some loopholes.
Some military contracts in the future?
Military contracts. We are open to that.
It's going to be interesting.
On 1.0?
Yeah.
Well, I can build it so it can go anywhere too. So we can easily build it on a 4-wheel drive chassis. And
you could do it out on location someplace.
That's the move.
Yeah.
Do we have any
little government contract
at the inside? I haven't seen
the office yet. Do you have any
yet.
video of the office?
Yeah, we should have some showing the water system. So these trucks have a chilled water bottle filler on them, so we can hold 10 gallons of water.
I thought I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're all, the office is climate controlled.
That's a rendering. Yeah.
So let's try to find. There should be a video recently.
Probably on Fit Truk Co, not Fit Truk KC.
There we go. Keep going up.
So that's the other thing. We have an operating arm, which is Fit Truk KC, and then we have the development arm or the sales arm, which is Fit Truk Co.
Sure.
The one where I'm filling the water might take us to the inside of the truck.
There it is. So there's the water system there.
Man, how cool.
Yeah, so everything runs through that chiller. It's all, like I said, that whole box is solar powered, so it all runs off solar.
So you can see that desk, and look how much space is in there. We fit like 4 or 5 different like human beings inside of it during trade shows. We've done trainings in there and
it's
whatever.
It's a bar. I mean, full on.
Yeah. So there's a refrigerator in there that runs all the time. That desk top actually flips up to give you more room if you wanted to have more room for an assessment or bring a table in there.
Mm-hmm. I saw an in-body in the lobby. You could put an in-body in there easily.
Yeah, so we set up a space in the front with a plug-in on the wall purposely to add an in-body to the truck. There's, plenty of power. Our next one is probably going to have a TV inside. I don't think I've told Hailee this yet, but
that's news to me.
Our demo truck.
I haven't talked to him in 24 hours.
Because I can, so
something's changing all the time.
Yeah, so we're actually putting a window in the door of the next one. Some of the feedback we got is people didn't quite like how kind of enclosed it was, how closed in it was. So we're putting a window in the door to get some daylight in.
Sure.
When you're in there working. Tons of technology on these trucks that people don't realize is there. So,
is it with a solar panel so you couldn't do like a skylight?
Yeah, so it was 2 things. We're putting more solar on the top of our trucks. We don't want to have any power issues, so we've added more solar panels to the top of our truck, which takes up a decent amount of the top. We want people to actually have an option to add even more. Skylight's in trouble. You're asking to get water in the truck.
Water.
So we were going to do that, and then we talked to a couple of people, our builder, another builder, and they're like, we wouldn't recommend it. So that's when we went to the window in the door. So we're constantly, making it better, improving it. I mean, we went all out on the first one. On the front of the truck, you have, options to upgrade the interior and the stereo, and then you also have that 360 camera system. So once again, we want anybody able to drive it. So when you're driving down the road, you can look at that camera and see all the way around the truck at any time. Always running, always going. Obviously, it has great mirrors, but still allows you. We want it to be safe. The truck is completely trackable. So You can track that truck at any point, how fast it's going, where it is. You can set up notifications if it moves. And then from a security standpoint, it has an audible alarm. That's the one that sends you the notifications. And then the doors lock down on electric actuators. So you push a button, they lock down, you lock the handles. And then there's actually deadbolts on it too. So we want it to be super secure. We didn't want people to have to figure out a way to store these things inside. So we literally designed these trucks to be kept outside. So we're like taking that barrier away from people too. They don't have to have some covered parking or some
you don't have to have RV parking. You can park it in a parking lot.
Yeah,
you can park it in a normal space.
Our trucks have been sitting in our lot for 3 years now, or 2.5 years, and we've had no issues with people messing with our truck, and no problems with
or
the
fading
outside.
of any of the graphics or any of the no leaking or water or anything like that.
If someone were to purchase one of these vehicles, what would like the warranty look like if there is one?
There is. So they come standard. So we have extended the warranty on the chassis. So we have your basic chassis warranty that's going to cover the entire drivetrain for 5 years, and then so we extend those out on everything. They come standard with a box warranty of a year, but we let people, have the option to extend those to 3 or 5 years. Equipment's covered through the manufacturers. Pretty much everything's covered.
There's some normal wear and tear. So think program supplies like bands, jump ropes, mats, med balls, any of those things that would be program supplies. Yeah. Those are going to not be under warranty, but they wouldn't be under warranty anywhere, right? So those are kind of your normal wear and tear, but anything that is
fabricated, if you will.
That's right. Those are going to retain the warranty.
Yeah, the systems that we fabricate here. So anything that has a patent on it, and really now our whole squat rack systems we fabricate here in Kansas City, and so those are warranted by us. We want to keep these trucks on the road and keep everything. So that's another thing. We've been really, really hands on with the deliveries we've made, and also very involved in the success of everybody that's taken delivery of our trucks so far, and because we have to be. This is our brand, and we need them to be successful.
These are the first believers, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's
exactly.
right. And it's a testament to. Part of why we're in business together is because our values align, and one of our values is work hard, show up, be of integrity, right? Do what you say you're going to do. So from the genesis, people started approaching us when we built the original truck just as an expansion, just as a business opportunity. We're just going to operate the truck in Kansas City, but within 6 months, people started saying to us, "Hey, I want to buy a truck." So we kind of looked at each other like, "Can we sell trucks?" And
I said yes immediately.
So we took
you'd
it
already
to
been
the
kicking those tires.
Yeah, we took it to the trade show at URSA that
for our
year.
listeners, like biggest fitness.
In North America. Yeah. And so we took it there, and the response was so overwhelming that we were like, okay, we're going to have to kind of figure out how we're going to scale this business. We got advice to take deposits on trucks that we didn't know how fast we could build. And we
Tesla
both said,
way.
That's right. The Rivian
way.
way.
Did that, and then they jacked the price of everybody's.
So we looked at each other and we're like, we have a choice. Do we build our business off of these folks, deposits, or do we say, give us 3 months, give us 5 months, and we're going to figure out how we find a build partner that we trust, that we know we can deliver on, because the people that we're selling these trucks to, we have relationships with. And I don't want to say, yeah, let me take your money, and then 5 months from now, I deliver some crappy product.
Overpromise and underdeliver.
That's right. And so we are very much an over-deliver company. And so those, especially these initial trucks, but forever. It's just who we are. So we're going to do this the right way. And there are faster ways to do this for sure. But we feel strongly that if we build the foundation correctly, that it will build exponentially.
So you guys are business partners now, right? And for a long time you had the dynamic of boss employee, correct?
He was an independent contractor.
Okay, independent contractor.
And he trained me 3 times a week, so he was my boss.
Was his. But for anybody who's listening that might be trying to navigate a business relationship, he was my boss at one point.
Mm-hmm.
He was my boss at one point.
Do you have any advice for anybody who is basically in a situation where maybe they're trying to start a company or they're in a relationship that changes and is dynamic? Like, what makes you guys' relationship in this business work?
I think for me, when I was making this, because own a brick and mortar gym in Kansas City. It'll be 13 this summer. I've had a second location, which I closed. So I've done a lot of the brick and mortar stuff. Josh was one of the first trainers that came on to City Gym. Our business model is they all work as independent contractors. So he's always been an independent contractor, but a vital part of the success of City Gym, an ambassador, an advocate. I mean, he's been in management positions there. And a friend of mine. And when I was sort of making the decision of, hey, he's had this mobile fitness idea for a while, I think this could be an interesting pivot during COVID or an expansion opportunity during COVID. I mean, I think the thing that we share most is we share a value around hard work. And I think in 20 years of hiring people or working with people, I can teach or train or navigate anything. But if you don't work as hard as I work, or I don't work as hard as you work, it's never going to work, right? Mm-hmm. So we both just grind. I mean, we come from families that grind. So I knew that I wasn't going to be up burning the midnight oil, and Josh was going to be in Tahiti, right? Mm-hmm. Like we were both going to push to make this work. And so for me, it was like, integrity. Josh does what he says he's going to do. He always has, and hard work. Those were the things that were non-negotiables for me. Everything else are kind of like personality differences. You're like, okay, cool, whatever. But those things for me were the biggest things. And we had a friendship.
And I think those things are big. And then, we have our own strengths, and they're different. Some are the same, but a lot are different. So like Hailee's really good at this stuff. I'm not. So
he's been doing such a great job.
I think you've been doing good.
So we got to give yourself more credit.
Yeah,
here.
That's what I've been saying.
But yeah, so so I'm we have kind of our own focus in the business, and so it works really well because I'm like, all right, you take this.
Sounds like you're the design guy.
He is.
So
yeah, he is the design guy.
I can't express this enough. Like, you need to hear this more often, but like your passion comes through and how you build the trucks. And so like, I want to buy a truck purely because of how you talk about the trucks.
That's right.
Let's get it done.
You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, like, yeah.
Yeah. I'll slide a contract. I'm the ops person. So I'm like,
here you go. Sure, we have one with us.
But like, I mean, like, like it's something I feel like as I'm getting older, it's increasingly harder to find people who are actually passionate about what they do, especially in the fitness industry. It's always fun in the beginning when everybody's finding themselves and creating
passionate about quality too.
That's what I mean. Well, yeah. Well, you guys are speaking in longevity. You're speaking in long term. It's not how quick can we sell these trucks, and so.
It's not a cash grab, which a lot of things nowadays feel like a cash grab.
Especially in fitness.
Yeah.
Oh,
especially in fitness.
I mean, and that is even from the framework of how I built City Gym. I mean, 13 years ago, the things that I was saying I was going to do, bringing on independent contractors as trainers, that was unheard of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, letting the trainers make money.
Every for-profit gym was saying, no, they're a revenue stream. You got to, you got to take as much money as you possibly can for them, and then you got to make them
and give them 30.
You got to make them sell other stuff that people don't need, so that they can make even more money. And so I just was like, no.
There is a gym in Kansas City that's like that. I can't remember the name.
What is the name of that?
We won't speak of them.
You said the word earlier, but it wasn't in the same context.
Yeah.
Well, Hailee's approach was she was going to get a really good training staff there, and those trainers would bring members. And so,
ironically, I've never been to that City Gym. It's in Waldo, but I will tell you this. We know so many trainers here in town, and I had not met you guys, but I've heard unbelievably great things about working for City Gym, because if you're a trainer who's going to be an independent contractor, that's just a great gym to do it at.
Yeah, and I wanted to create a place where exceptional trainers could be exceptional at training, and that they didn't have to own a business or become a training manager, and that the best trainers weren't just the guys or gals that could sell the most, that they were great at what they did, and I wanted to empower them because I knew it was a retention tool. So if you're working with a great trainer, there are people that Josh signed up the first week he was there that have been there for 13 years. That's quite the retention plan. So what I've lost in a revenue stream by squeezing him, he's stayed for 13 years, and his clients have stayed for 13 years. In the fitness industry, that's a lifetime.
Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, I've had so many people ask me, like, do you want to open your own gym? This is back when I was training, and I was like, no, why would I do that? I pay her rent. I get to work in this amazing facility. I have
the freedom of of owning your own gym. He can
charge whatever he wants. They get to charge whatever they want. They're like, "Can I charge $100 an hour?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Can you get $100 an hour? They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Great."
If Lifetime can charge you $130,
that's what I'm saying. And then
it's
they
probably more.
60% on a good day of your take home. It's hard to sell a $125 session. And now you're not even taking home 50% of that. 2 years into that, trainers start looking around for greener
they
fields.
want to go.
Always.
Yeah. Always.
So I was like, and I've managed enough training teams to know there's always like 3 really great ones, 3 okay ones, 3 terrible ones, and then 2 you're trying to fire all the time, right? Like, and so I was like, how do I not spend any time managing that bottom 50% and just give great trainers an opportunity to make great money, because I knew they would retain their clients, and I would build my model off of a membership model.
There's people that are trying to, in our experience, this is just speaking for me, honestly. There's trainers that are trying to make enough money to make ends meet, and that's what's going to make them happy. And there's people who are trying to help as many people as possible. And it's just like, it's so funny to see the dichotomy there, because the ones that you're trying to fire are the ones that are like, I just wanted to train because I wanted to make fitness my job so I could like pay my bills. And like continue my personal training for myself. And I'm forced to train others to make money, right?
They're
like,
kind of good at selling things, and so they kind of fell into training, and they're kind of like a fit-ish person, and then they're like, oh, I can convince people to do things they wouldn't normally want to do. And so there's those folks too, or people who are just, not super great human beings. But yeah, I mean, when I started in the industry, there were very few trainers that were doing it as a living. It wasn't 20 years ago. It wasn't even actually super professionally viable. You were a bodybuilder, or you were an athlete, and you were trying to supplement. And then
everybody's asking, what are you going to do when you grow up?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I started as a trainer because I was like, I don't want to get a real job, and stayed because I was like, wow, I love the transformation that happens for people in the gym, and that's what I'm most excited about. And so being able to give great trainers, a place to be great trainers was always a part of the genesis story for City Gym. And then it was no contracts back at a time when people were like, contracts, why will people stay? And I'm like, we're going to treat them right. We're going to have a great facility. We're going to say when they leave, have fun, good luck.
Hopefully
Fitness is a journey.
Yeah.
We're rooting for you. So often those people came back because they had a great leaving experience. Instead of saying like, yeah, I've had this gym membership for 2 years that I pay for that I don't go to because I'm so concerned that when I go in there, they're going to try to sell me something else I don't need.
They're going to make,
So it's
lock
like,
you into a 2-year contract.
Exactly. Yeah. And I didn't want to be in the collections business. I didn't want to chase people down to pay me money that they already felt like they didn't want to pay me. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to to sell a great product. And if you chose to be a part of us, there's power in that. And if you choose not to, that's cool too. Like, good luck.
You play the long game.
With what you said earlier about, I knew you said, I knew that, if I treated my trainers right, it was a good retention tool. And I think that me and him probably relate to that a lot too, because in the supplement industry, if you walk into 99% of supplement stores, they are going to try and push to you the highest margin product.
Heck yeah.
And we learned a long time ago, the best products, the one that are most effectively dosed and best made, are not going to be the highest margin product. It's just not going to happen in business. But we knew, hey, if we actually sell people products that work and are good quality and don't hurt people's stomachs and are effectively dosed, we might make less money per transaction. But guess what? More people come back to 100%. See you over and over and over again.
And talk and tell other people. I've had this great experience. Yeah. Go there. I mean,
well, and it's like I said, it's just hearing that perspective come from you. It's a unique perspective that I think that, as soon as you said that, I was like, it's a long-term perspective. It's just
it's difficult to believe in the beginning of any business model when you don't have these contracts. The amount of, gym owners, like what we're talking about is not cavalier, right? It's not completely crazy. People think like this, but no one has the balls to do it,
right?
Because it takes so long for it to really come true,
yeah.
Right? And so, like in the beginning, everybody's like, a lot of people have tried this, and they just stress it, and then all of a sudden the contracts are coming out,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden they're raising the prices, and all of a sudden they're selling supplements.
That's the other thing. I've only raised prices 3 times in 13 years. And they're always for new members.
Right.
So if you're an original member, you could be paying the original first week price.
That's crazy.
We've got a couple of members.
$8.
Who are like, oh yeah, I've kept it.
Those people are always super proud too. They're like, I have the original.
Totally. And they're like this, they've got this old name in the membership name in the system, but like, and the same is true for Fit Truk. It was like, we're not doing this to burn out fast. We're doing this to build a business that can change people's lives. And that's why he's in training. It's why I'm in training. It's why we work together at City Gym. It's the same is true for Fit Truk. Is like, we think this can change the industry. We think this can change people's lives. And so we're going to do it the right way. We're going to do it with integrity. And that might mean in the beginning we sell, 10 trucks instead of 100 trucks, but that's okay because we're going to sell 1,000 trucks soon.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's only around the corner. You were going to say something, Josh. I'm sorry.
Oh, I think I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah. Just the long-term aspect of what you're talking about. I just want to make sure we mention in fitness for all of our listeners, like it's very difficult to have a retention mindset when you're starting a new business, when those bills are due no matter what. Yeah. Because every month you've probably borrowed some money to start said business.
Yep.
And every single month they get paid no matter how much money you make.
That's right.
And so it's so difficult to have that long-term mindset and not even expect $1 in the beginning to think about what's going to be the long-term, energy of the brand, if you will. And for you, Josh, as far as like your builds, you're talking about the 1.0. We saw a lot of trends happen during COVID. One of those trends was clearly the van living. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. It's very, very popular for fitness influencers to live in a van. We know some of them personally. They're great friends. Have we dabbled? And of course you have. So tell us about the living quarters.
So,
do you see the look on his face?
Yeah,
I'm like, I already know this happened. So
we've had the conversations. There's a local company here that builds some really nice vans. And so I've consulted with them already to see if potentially we could do it. We're not very far down the road, but our 3.0 truck and our 4.0 truck both could be a situation where you could live in it. We'd have to reconfigure some equipment to get a little bit more.
The amount of fitness influencers that could say, come work out with me and go around the country. Is a bananas amount.
Bananas.
And people would be jumping at the chance.
And if you think about a fitness influencer, it's a rolling mobile billboard.
Right.
So now all of your sponsors are on the outside of your truck. So then that becomes a way to then fund.
Another revenue stream.
That's right.
We had a guy comment on one of our videos a while back, and we get some people. A lot of people don't understand the concept. So like, oh, this is worthless. What are you going to use this for?
You work out inside the truck.
Yeah, all of it. So that's been our biggest thing, is getting people to understand what Fit Truk is, because it's so new. It doesn't exist anywhere else. And then that we sell trucks, for one. Like, people are
we're sell trucks.
Yeah.
You don't just operate.
We had this guy comment and say, well, that's a complete fail if it doesn't have a bathroom in it. I was like, would you like one with the bathroom in it? ...
Yeah.
Like,
we can put
do it.
one in there.
Yeah, let's,
And then the is the easy question of like, we don't have to turn the truck into a tiny home as well. We can haul. So what's the towing capacity? And is that a possibility, right? To throw an easy camper on the back of it.
Yeah, we could. We build on 19,500 pound chassis, so they're heavy duty chassis. So we have extra towing capacity. I can't remember the exact number, but yeah, it could be done on the trucks as well. Especially like our 3.0 truck, it's about 28 inches shorter than our 4.0 truck, so it's a little more manageable in the sense of how long it is, especially if you're going to tow something. But if they want to live
3.0,
in it.
3.0, pull a camper behind it, small,
I'm just waiting for like these fitness influencers to be posting themselves like doing like battle ropes in a national park.
Oh yeah.
You know what I
mean?
We're in.
That's happening.
Yes.
Let's make it happen. Seriously.
Don't you love the turds of the internet? You do all of this.
I know.
All this
It's
work.
like,
It's gonna fail. This thing's gonna fail. I can't
This
pee on
thing sucks. It doesn't have a bathroom.
Yeah, exactly.
It reminds me of that quote about
That's
the
the funniest
the man in the arena, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's always the person who doesn't have the courage to try. It's always the person who's not doing it on their own dollar or sweat that's going to try to throw arrows
from the basement.
Yeah, and we literally are like, okay,
throwing stones, live in a glass
I mean, it
house.
doesn't happen often, actually.
No.
We get so much good feedback.
I'm sure
but
the
you
feedback
always
is
get
mostly good. But
It's when you
just
start partnering with these brands though, and they post and they have this, million plus following.
Yeah.
It'll always be the fun trolls.
Always.
We have a friend, Claire Thomas, and I mean, she lives in a van with Jared, and they would I instantly, when you talk about that, I think of them. I think that would be crazy if they had one of these.
saying,
but
like,
they already
bananas.
work out of their van every day. So
the vans have pull-up bars, dip attachments, and so
Yep.
forth, but it's
limited.
It's to say the least. It's just like it's not even comparable,
Yeah.
right? It's to the amount of attachments and the amount of things that you guys have in those Fit Trucks, it'd be like bragging that your car also has a cup holder or something. It's
Yeah.
like
yeah.
it's not even comparable. So to be able to also work out with the people that follow them is just a limitless opportunity.
It is.
Are you guys, we don't have to talk about this, but are you guys willing to talk about price points? Like for anybody who's listening, like what they could be thinking about, the entry level one, which was what'd you call it? The one?
2.0 is the one that we have ready to go now.
2.0 is ready.
It's going to be a little bit lower. We don't have a price on that
yet.
So.
Target price point, like what you're hoping to get it down to?
Mid to upper 100s. So that's the goal on it. I think we're going to be able to get there.
With equipment?
Yeah.
Yes, everything.
Wow. That's cool.
That includes the truck.
Because equipment is very
all
expensive.
Program supplies, solar panels, lighting, audio, visual, everything.
Yeah.
Everything. When he tells you the price, it includes everything. Yeah. Every screw and band and piece of equipment.
Out the door, you can run the business.
Door. That's right.
Yeah, so that's the goal. Is
that's
to try to get down that range. Our biggest truck, our 4.0, it's about 350. But
that's even less than I thought it was.
Given the way less than I thought it was.
Do you know how much a commercial grade treadmill costs right now?
I was about to say it's probably like $30,000.
Yeah,
it's somewhere between $14,000 and $24,000. So for 5 treadmills, I can get you a full business, not 5 treadmills.
Wild.
Yeah. So
no construction costs, no guaranteed lease, no utilities, no employees, no janitorial staff. I mean, all the things that are those line items on my gym. Had I started this 13 years ago, I'd be in a very different financial position because the margins on gym memberships for the product you're offering is very small. It just is, right?
Well, we can put
What's crazy is
50 plus people in the truck.
Charge someone triple the price.
That's right.
Yeah.
For group training, training is typically much more expensive.
That's right.
Than a general membership gym.
That's right. Yeah.
You're talking way less overhead and way higher margin.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on the market, but even in Kansas City, $20 a class is going rate. That's just par for the course.
Completely fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
If you can train 30 people on average, because you could get up to 55, but let's say on average you're running 30 people, $20 an hour. Are you doing the cowboy math over there?
I'm following it for you.
Let's say you do 2 classes a day,
$1,200,
500, 5 days a week, maybe 6.
So you don't even have to do that many hours.
$7,200
a week.
Yeah.
For 10 classes.
Your break-even point on the biggest truck is less than a year.
Yeah. That's right. And we tell people that all the time.
I mean, there's operating expenses.
Of
probably,
course, but it's fuel.
They're minimal.
It's insurance costs.
It's all write-offs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you've got a vehicle. So now you have a very different depreciation model than gym equipment.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So when you're talking about write-offs, you've got a vehicle that you can depreciate versus just dumbbells and squat racks and all of those sort of things.
Then you end up with a vehicle that's actually worth something.
Yeah.
Done too. You actually have a chassis. The way we build these boxes too, they can be moved to a different chassis.
Detachable. Yeah.
They're detachable. So
if you started with a 2.0 and your business explodes and you want a 3.0, you bring it back to us. We take that box off.
Refurbish it.
That's right.
Yeah.
We can
Nice.
refurbish it. We can give you a bigger box. I mean, there's some flexibility there as well. Let's say you're one of the first owners and you're like, hey, 2 years from now, it's going to be better. We're like, great, bring it back and we'll give you a better box. We can do a lot of those sort of things.
because people aren't putting a lot of miles. These chassis are 300,000 mile chassis we're using. And if you're using these trucks right, you're not traveling far.
Yeah.
You could probably never leave.
the metro is 10 miles.
Yeah, I mean, literally 5 miles, you'd have all the business you'd ever want.
Yeah.
I mean, there could be people that could take these to a youth sports complex.
Yeah.
And never move it.
That's right. You could train youth, parents on the weekends when kids are playing games. Now you can have drop-in classes. I mean, and you could train off the biggest version. You could train an A team and a B team off the same truck. So, U14, A team, U14, B team, they're training on the same truck. Now you don't have a strength room that sits empty most of the time. You've got a truck that can make you money even on the weekends.
Yeah, we've had high schools or school districts reach out to us about potentially buying trucks because they've outgrown their weight rooms.
Right.
Because all athletes lift weights now.
All female athletes, all endurance athletes, everyone's lifting weights. Whereas, 20 years ago, it was like basketball and football were the only folks that were lifting weights, and now everybody does.
So we've actually had school districts reach out like, hey, I think this would be a good tool. And also outdoor athletes are training outdoors.
Yeah.
So, they need to train in the heat. Mm-hmm. So
or the cold,
it's interesting.
or the rain.
What spurred this idea, it was almost 14 years ago. I worked at a gym. There was a fire captain there, and great shape. He'd work out all the time. And he would come in and he'd be like, I can't get the old guy. He was kind of in charge of getting everybody to work out at the station. And he's like, I can't get him to do it. He's like, I wish somebody would bring something to me and do the workouts there. And I was like, well, how the hell do I do this? So literally that was 14 years ago. I found files from 14 years ago where I was like researching fire fitness programs in other states and what pilot programs and everything. And my thought process behind this, and this is a great avenue for these trucks that we have not gone down yet.
Sure.
They need to train in all environments. 110 degrees outside, they need to be outside working out. There's always somebody at the station, and a lot of these fire departments do not have structured exercise programs, and a firefighter, police officer, whatever, if they're out of shape, they could cost themselves their life or somebody else their life. So that's
not to mention workman's comp. That's the number one line item for most cities. Budgets is workman's comp for their fire and police forces.
Yeah. So that's what spurred this idea that's what got the idea rolling. And then it literally ruminated in my head for that many years.
I work at
COVID almost forced it.
I mean, probably
it did.
a third of the workouts I do in a year are outside. And it's like, I'd probably do more. It's just a pain in the ass carrying equipment outside.
Of course.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you just pop open the doors and
Yeah.
you're good to go.
And
Not even pop them up, just hit the button.
hit a button.
Yeah. So our next truck will have one remote. You'll stand behind the truck and you will push 3 buttons for the doors to open them up. And then you'll push 3 buttons to close them. Done.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So super fast. We also found with the outdoor thing, the trucks are very approachable because we're outdoors.
That's right.
Right.
We knew the people, especially during COVID, had gone outside and liked working outside. What we didn't realize is like walking through the doors of a facility.
It's a commitment.
It's way more intimidating.
It's a barrier.
We go through it all the time here
It's
at
a
our
barrier.
stores. Yeah.
It's a barrier. So the person that will walk up and work out on a truck is not a person who feels comfortable walking through the front door, even if they know the owner, even if they have a trainer, even if there's a relationship, right? It's just, it's a mind game.
I don't know what the inside looks like. And
I feel intimidated. I feel afraid.
They've already let themselves believe it's this terrifying place.
That's
Yes.
exactly
You know what
right.
I mean? Yeah.
And they feel like they're stuck
That
inside
fear of the
there, too.
unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so now we go out, we're on location, we're building relationships, they're working out, they're feeling the benefits, they're inviting their friends. And then they start saying, wait, you want a gym? Where's your gym? Oh, it's 2 miles from here. These are people that I would I don't care what flyer or deal or special, or if I drove them to the gym myself every day, I couldn't get them in there. But now that I've built an organic relationship with them in a location near them, and they've begun to imagine themselves in a different environment, now they're asking me, how do I become a member of your gym? Do you teach a class there? Well, when will you be there? Can I show up? It's an amazing barrier breaking experience that, like Josh said, we knew, but we didn't.
We didn't know how
powerful
extent of
it
it.
could be.
So, corporate wellness is probably one of the biggest buckets this would be used for, right? Go on site, run workouts for employees. We went out to a company a while back. It's actually my wife's company, and ran a workout for them. And it was really interesting. We had several people in the group that don't work out. I think one that had never been in a gym before. And those people were the ones after the workout that were asking her, hey, when can we have them back out? It was, and the other people too. But it was interesting. It was the people that don't go to gyms that really wanted to have us back.
And they surprised themselves how easy this was. Or not easy, but you get my
I think they did.
Accessible, approachable.
And how, and so, in the way
I can be a fitness person. Wow, I had no idea.
The way the truck's configured, we're running this group workout. When I ran the workout for them, it was all off timers, off our system. And, but we have rowers, and then we have inertia waves, but then we have sleds, but then we have, squat racks and cable stations. So it's a really good mix between strength and some cardio intervals, and allows people that aren't as fit or, not there yet to, not have to go as hard on the rower.
Moderate what they're doing.
Yeah. So, but if you're, in really good shape and you can kill it on the rower. And so the way these trucks are designed, literally how they're laid out, every single bay of them, allows to structure workouts to where anybody can I'm not joking. Anybody can do this. We had a group, we've done all kinds of random workouts.
We've showed people in wheelchairs. I feel like
we
it's
do all kinds
unbelievable.
of random workouts. So we had a wedding party, that couples getting married, and most of their guests were, a lot of them were out of town.
There it is.
Yeah.
That's that's them. So they wanted to show everybody Fit Truk and do a workout the morning of their wedding. So they invited them to come, and we had it was a whole gamut of people. We had a couple that owned a CrossFit box that were incredibly good shape, and then we had people that hadn't worked out for a long time, maybe hadn't worked out at all, and every single one of them did the exact same workout, made it through, and hell of a lot of fun. And also at the end, every single person was like, "Holy shit, that was
an experience
that was
they'll never
tough."
forget for sure.
Then we have when it comes to like approachability, we have the lights and we have the underglow lights, and it's just an experience too. It's not just like
it's cool. One of the communities or one of the organizations that really get this product are community rec organizations. So think YMCAs, JCCs, Parks and Rec, because they are looking for ways to go out into communities and serve these people in a high level way and then draw them back in.
Right.
And one of the things that because I worked for the YMCA for a while, for 6 years, I was a health and fitness director. And one of the things I say to Y's all the time is, when is the last time the fitness industry chased the YMCA? It's been since the aerobics era, right? So since the 70s.
Yeah, same.
But this YMCA truck, it is cool. I mean, it's got a swag to it that most YMCAs can't brag about. And they're not chasing anybody with this product. So even when we were out there, white glove delivering it to them, we had people pull up saying, "What is this thing?" And I was like, "Oh, it's with the Y." And they're like, "The YMCA is doing that?"
Yeah.
It just blew their mind.
Right.
So it's such a cool tool.
The association's amazing. For
and
for the brand.
and they really the Ys really are understanding this, because for many of them, serving communities in an organic way in those communities have been on their strategic plan for 10, 15, 20 years. And they've built little like dinky, rinkety things that they thought, we'll do this, but never in this way. And so they're super
throw a pull-up bar out there.
That's right. They're super excited about
folding
it.
table.
You saw the side of the truck, it says your logo here. So what we're finding is there's so much branding space on the outside of these trucks. YMCAs, community organizations can raise money.
Yeah, nonprofits can ask for sponsorships.
On this truck. But, before, when you sponsor something as a business, you're not getting any a lot of visibility out of it, in a sense, for the YMCA. And so,
you're in some brochure or something that's inside that nobody
inside
sees.
The gym. And so now they can have the name on the side of the truck. The Y could actually bring the truck to their business to serve their business, run workouts for them. Mm-hmm. And so there's been some really creative ways that people are raising money, nonprofits, to purchase these trucks, and then also partner with other businesses where the business gets something out of it too.
Yeah, healthcare systems, insurance companies. I mean, they're doing some really interesting collaborative things, because the Y's like, hey, we want to impact public health, so we're going to work with the hospital system, and we're going to work together, and we're going to go change people's health.
Yeah, come to them.
Yep.
Yeah, they can do whole community outreach programs with the truck. I mean, we've had one YMCA ask us if they could do a mobile vaccine clinic out of the truck. Well, we have refrigerators and we have plenty of space, and it's climate controlled inside the truck, so they can do the fitness stuff. They can do, they can deliver food with the truck.
Because food and fitness deserts are often hand in
yeah.
hand.
So, and they can get out to communities that normally wouldn't come to the YMCA.
Right.
It's not very far that people have to travel, especially depending on where the YMCA is or where the gym is in a city.
You're just going to completely change
there.
people's complete viewpoint of what they felt like the YMCA was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is not your YMCA you grew up going to.
Yeah.
And they've been trying to do that since I left 14 years ago. They did a huge marketing study, and the results were that what people thought the Y does and what the Y does, they had never seen a larger discrepancy from a marketing standpoint. And that's when you begin to really see the Ys try to change the way they talk about themselves. But this is a deliverable where it's not just a branding change or a way they talk about themselves, but this becomes that deliverable. So we did a show last spring for a bunch of community rec organizations, and it was the top CEOs from a bunch of YMCAs. And those folks, they're the big thinkers. They're
the movers. They're
trying to get doing really innovative things, and that's where we delivered this. The first YMCA truck was to one of those CEOs. He was like, "Yep, I got it. I see it. I got it. Let's go."
Yeah, he tried to buy our truck at the show in March, and Haley's like,
I tried to sell it to him.
Yeah. Sure, we'll sell it to you. And I was like, we can't sell it.
Can't sell it yet.
This is my baby. No.
Yeah. This is a more boring question, but it has to be asked. Every one of these events, I'm assuming there's going to have to be some kind of event insurance. Is that right?
It's actually a lot easier than you think. So
what would be like the going rate on that? Yeah.
So it's usually, we carry a policy on the truck.
Right.
And that covers, just like inside a gym, that covers the exercise happening. And then of course,
I'm saying like we go to a new city. I'm an influencer.
Yeah.
I'm setting up in a parking lot. Let's say it's
you
one
would
of
have
those,
an
like,
insurance policy that was nationwide, and so
yeah, we add them as an additional insured on our policy, and it's as easy as that. So
That's simple.
We can
It's
add
not
them,
individualized.
No,
No.
we can add them to our waiver if they'd like us to as well. So yeah, it's not that big a barrier, really.
All of my attendees, right? Is there a waiver for them as well? I'm assuming
Yeah, definitely. So just like a gym, we have everybody sign a waiver. And
digital or printed.
either.
Yeah.
We have smart waivers, so you could do it digitally if you wanted to. We have a lot of times we just do paper because we're just on the fly.
Can you scan a QR code? And
You
everybody
could.
just-
Yeah. So yeah. So
So there's not one person on the iPad
That's
at a
right.
time.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Or you could send them a link ahead of time. Like I have smart waiver at City Gym. I send you a link ahead of time. Hey, you're coming in for this class. Fill this out. As soon as you get there, we pull up your name. Great, you're good. Go.
yeah. So
All
we
of
do
it
we
can
do
be
it both
done ahead of
ways.
time.
So, but it's that's not been a barrier, And then when
great.
it comes to going on site and doing these workouts, we've had very little issues. Pushback. So many places are welcoming, and then that's actually a way that you can expand your reach and your locations.
Definitely.
Or so one of our strategies, one of the things we do is you work with a corporation, you go on site and you run corporate wellness classes for them, and then you actually can have an open class where people come to you. So it's like actually allows people to expand their locations by working with the business.
Yeah, because
and
people are always
using-
like, well, how am I going to get do I need to rent a parking lot or get a permit from Parks and Rec? And what I've said is find a great supplement store and say, hey, can we run a workout in the parking lot for your clients, and then we'd like to stay for an hour afterwards, and we're going to have our folks come after. And most of the time it's like, yeah, no brainer. Or we'll give you a reduced rate on the hourly rate.
Yeah, there's
Tons of collaboration.
So much
Collaboration
in
is
any
key.
business. It's like fitness or fitness adjacent. It's like who wouldn't want that?
Right.
It's just drawing attention to
And it does. I mean, it is so cool when the doors are open and the lights are on and the music is going. People will walk. I mean, they will stop their workout if we're in a park and they're like, "What in the world is this? This is amazing."
It's just hard to get a group of people together outdoors like that, and regardless of what it is. If there was a pickup basketball game that was 50 people at, I'm stopping and watching.
Yeah. Especially if there's some like lights and music, like a DJ's playing. You're like, "Whoa, what is happening here?"
You probably know this, Hailee, from with City Gym. It's like the amount of times I feel like different government organizations or like the Riverfront, for example, the Berkeley Riverfront, for every year they used to do outdoor classes of some sort, whether it be yoga.
Yep, we
boot
did.
camp.
We led those classes sometimes. Yeah.
Right down there on the riverfront, and it's like I used to live in the river market and just walk the path there, and you'd see 100 people out in the grass, and you're like, who the heck for sunrise yoga? And you're like, what? Why did I not know about this? You know, and so to see what you guys are doing, there's just nothing else like it. Period. And it seems like it's a simple concept and quote, like simple, not easy, right? And it's just the amount of which I don't know, the ripple effects, if you will, of what's possible is just, it seems endless. It just seems like we're just finding more and more ways that this could be beneficial. And it's just unbelievable what you guys are doing. I'm just so happy to have met you guys, and exciting to see what you guys do as far as growth goes, because the concept is there, but it's the execution that you guys are doing that is so cool to see.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun so far. I mean, it's so cool watching people see this truck. Like
Kyle
and I've got $1 billion business idea. If you guys really want to turn this thing
$1 billion.
I love that you were like a brillion.
I know. I heard that
$1,000
too.
million
It's a very big. Yeah.
I heard that.
Hear me
switch.
out, guys.
all right, we're in.
Oh, what dumb idea is this? I don't even know what you're.
We've had so many of these funny half baked ones, but if we set up our 0 calorie
the
snow cones
Snow cones. This is a good one.
right next to the Fit Truk.
This is a good one.
100%.
I like this one.
I'm in on that.
Yeah.
Well, we've done, we obviously have a lot of good BCAAs and EAAs in our store, and all of those are good and some Hawaiian ice. And it's like,
Absolutely.
Some post-workout
how
slushies.
How would you like
Yeah.
to do some post-workout, desserts that are, 20 calories or less?
Amazing.
I mean, we could serve them out of the truck.
Yeah.
Actually.
You wouldn't
See?
even have to have the truck next to it.
I like that.
We could just put a big fridge in there. and-
Sell you some licensing.
That's right.
It's expensive. It's a $1 billion idea.
It's $1 billion. That's why it changed.
Hey,
I thought we were going to make the $1 billion. Oh, you're making the $1
He
billion.
decided halfway through he was going to sell this concept.
Right.
Not
Yeah,
run
he
it.
was like, billion.
We looked up ice machines.
booger hanging from your beard.
Oh, what is it? Oh,
it's fuzz.
I think it's fuzz, Jeff.
Thank goodness
close
it's not
to a booger.
You never know from distance. You're welcome.
We looked up the cost of an ice machine truck, and we're like, oh, no, never mind.
Yeah.
But you
But
can build
you
it.
put Supplement Superstore on the outside, and
can
now
build it
you're
into the
doing
Fit Truk.
on-site,
Yeah.
not
And
just
then
workouts, but people get, they're trying to pre or
Supplements,
post-workout
snow cones,
afterwards.
workouts.
Yeah. I mean, it's a brand activation tool.
There's something about getting it from outside too, right? If there was a snow cone,
100%.
there was a snow cone place that was indoors.
Yeah.
No.
Not the same.
100%.
Not the same.
No,
Miami Ice in Westport.
You're telling
I've
me
never
you
seen a
could
second
put
location.
a window on one of the Fit Trucks for us, where we could put Jeff in there with a little hat and say,
No, what you
just
do
serving
is
up
Every hat's a little head on my head, dude.
you would prepackage them and you'd put them in a freezer, and then you'd let your staff run the workouts, and then afterwards you'd be like, you want the blue raz, you want the cherry limeade, bump, it's done. Then you're not shaving the ice or doing anything. You're just doing a post workout, thing.
yeah,
EAAs, man.
Done.
Get
I like
anabolic.
it. I like it.
I mean, we could have you a truck in roughly 6 months. So
Our
just let us
idea
know.
probably not
Oh,
as good
yeah.
as your guys.
I'm just saying. You could steal it for $1 billion.
Listen, we can keep spitballing. We'll just keep it. We'll just keep
Yeah.
working on
What
that.
I know about business, it's not what you execute; it's what you think of. You
Yeah.
know?
Well, I say all the time, I'm not the smart one, but I am the one that sits in the meeting and I'm like, that's the right idea. I know how to be like, okay, that's what we should
That's
do.
sticky
Yeah,
right
let's
there.
go right there.
What's the so give me some quick. This is a quicker question, but Josh, give me some rundown of like some of the ideas that you've had to turn down. Give me some van ideas that you were like, we should do this, and you're like, no.
I don't think she's told
That's
me
not the
no a
one.
lot.
I'm like, not right this second, but he has ideas. So you could racks that pull out of the truck that have boxing bags off of them.
yeah,
So you could
yeah.
do an entire boxing truck. We've tried to figure out how we get spin bikes deployed off the side
The
of the
boxing,
truck.
yeah.
the boxing thing's done. Somebody just needs to bring me a boxing concept.
So if
they
there's a
want.
boxing franchise that we can build you a truck. We've had some other kind of cardio-based equipment companies approach us with how do we deploy these pieces of equipment from there. The big one was, well, for a while he was telling people he could live inside the truck, and I was
You
like,
can.
And then once we really got in there, I was like, oh yeah, you could actually live inside this truck.
Would you want to live inside it though, Haley?
Yeah, I
I'd
mean,
do it for sure. For sure.
You just got to get a window.
Yeah.
You give me a window.
In the
window.
in the same like kind of desk one we were looking at earlier.
Yeah,
Is that
well-
the same kind of size of the cabin, if you will?
Yeah, so
we'd
well,
probably
we could-
reclaim a little bit more
We
space.
could reclaim some space out of what we have right now. Some of our design changes have allowed us to open up. And that 3.0 truck's a little different in size, a little bigger too.
So yeah, we're both in there, and it feels very
we had
spacious.
6
That's
bigger-
way bigger than a Sprinter van.
say
That's
bigger-
way bigger than
Bigger than an NYC apartment.
100%. I said when I started as
I
a
was about to
trainer
say,
in
you-
San Francisco, I lived in a converted garage. It was literally a garage that had glass block in the front and a door. And when my mom came to visit me the first time, she started crying, and I said, "Why are you crying?" And she said, "You live in a garage." I said, "That I pay for by myself." That I walk to work
I'm
and
proud as hell
train
of
all
this.
day long,
Yeah.
and I spend all of my money on this little converted garage apartment. And had I had a truck, I could have lived out of my truck in San Francisco instead of living in a converted garage. It would have been a way better experience.
That's true.
I don't think
Probably
she's
better
told me no
investment.
a lot, but there's been a lot of not yets maybe.
Have you guys thought about, because obviously living in Kansas City, the weather is an issue. Have you guys thought about like those big ass fans on
We
them,
have.
and then
Yeah, so we could
outdoor heaters?
Heater takes a decent amount of power. That's the only downfall. I would tell you though. I mean, it's still not to a point where we can't run workouts here. So that window.
I mean, I feel
that
like-
window's getting pretty small.
Yeah.
In some of the hotter climates, we found some systems. We were looking at building in a mister system to our doors, and we still may. I'm a little worried about having constant water hitting our audio equipment, video equipment.
Yeah.
Our audio stuff's all Marines. That's fine. But our video equipment and our equipment in general, it's made to hold up, but it's not made to be doused in water all the time. So
If we do it off the back of the truck, though, would that help in the sense?
it would,
Because
yeah. So but you
now it's
want
not
it.
getting
So
in the-
in a sense, we've found these units that you could put out. Well, and that's another reason why we changed our door design. Our initial truck was built out of an ambulance. It had no doors that opened up. They, I hated it because
That.
yeah. So like when you're
That's
I couldn't
the
see
OG.
people.
Look at that gal.
We still use the hell out of this truck too. We still run workouts on it.
She's
And
from Grandview.
I don't think we'll ever get rid of this.
She is.
Yeah. So
Classy
Grandview
gal.
Fire
Yeah.
Department, that's where it came from. So so that's what we started with, and I hated it because I couldn't see people in a sense. Like I was getting annoyed because like I'd have somebody at a cable station and there was a door in the way. And so I was like, all right, we got to fix that. So we went to a design where our doors opened up. First box we built had 4 separate doors. And I'm like, immediately, that's the truck that we took to Ursa in Miami, June of 22. Yeah, June of 22. And as soon as it was built, I was like,
yep, those are the doors.
Got to change this door design. So now we have 3 big doors that open up, and it gives you a lot of shade. And what we found is, even if it's really hot out, having that little bit of shade in a workout.
Well, and think about all the trends. So
Yep.
all these guys and gals that I'm following, they're running outside 1 mile every day, regardless of the weather. They're, cold plunges or saunas. I mean, working out in the elements. So I'm a runner, and part of why I run is truly just to be outside. It sets my circadian rhythm. I like it when it's really cold. I'll run in the rain. I'll run in the heat, because being outside in the elements does something for my constitution, not just my brain. I mean, I truly feel that way. And so I run no matter where I am, no matter what the weather is. And so other folks are in that same mindset. COVID really took people outside, and then they have a higher threshold for being outside regardless of weather than they ever have. I mean, 3 years ago, if I had told people we're going to work out in the parking lot at a 95-degree day, they'd have been like, you're crazy, we're quitting. Now they're like, oh, it's sunny and warm outside. Can we work out outside? And I'm like, hell yeah, let's take everything outside. So it's like people.
I actually think the warmness, not a problem.
Yeah.
It's when it gets like 0 degrees.
Yeah,
that's
sure.
when it
Super
becomes,
cold and a little nasty.
Yeah.
It does become a little barrier. But
It is a
you,
small amount of time in Kansas City that
But even in like a
months.
Minneapolis, I mean, let's say there's 8 weeks of the year that you're not running workouts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what are you doing during those 8 weeks as a business owner? You're refurbishing your truck. You're working on your marketing materials. I mean, you build that into your business. I mean, if you're making $7,500 a week, you could take 8 weeks off a year. That's
I mean,
that's
you
not
can
terrible.
easily make enough revenue in those months, and then we're looking at ways of making that a little bit better. Like I was saying, I found some mister systems that are portable, that last for hours, that run off battery, that would, make it a little more bearable in the heat. The cold is a little bit more of a barrier, but it's not, I mean, here, in a lot of places now, it's not a lot of months that you would be to the point where it'd be really hard to run workouts. And like I said, people's thresholds are way higher than they used to be. So we get that question a lot.
I mean, I do agree with that. But you guys, think about how many you guys could sell, basically anywhere in the South. Texas, Florida.
Anywhere it's mild.
Yeah.
It's just it's kind of a no-brainer. I mean, our first couple of trucks have been in Texas for that very reason. They're like, we can run this 365 days a year.
Yeah.
There's a fitness concept. Things like, let's say, like F45, right? There's so many that are like it, right? Orange Theory, so on and so forth, these group classes. I wonder, what would be the perfect business to showcase what it's like inside our walls of a brick and mortar, but I can use the Fit Truk to come to them right where they're comfortable. Yeah. When you bring a new concept to market, it's very difficult for people to get past their preconceived notions, right? Is there one that comes to mind for you? Like, I just want to give a quick example of what I'm talking about. I used to, in college, I would see these commercials. I'd never seen them, never even heard of a Papa Murphy's before. But I couldn't believe people were buying these pizzas that weren't even cooked yet. And it's like, I've only seen that at Walmart and at Sam's Club and so forth. It's like, who is going into a retail brick and mortar space and buying a not even cooked pizza? I was just couldn't get over it, right? And I go to this event in Springfield, Missouri, and someone pulls out the crappiest looking apartment ovens you've ever seen. Like the crappiest ovens you've ever seen. And they put Papa Murphy's pizzas in them, and then they pull them out, and they're like the best pizza I've ever had. And I was just like, do you guys really just go to these events with these crappy ass looking ovens to make the pizzas for people?
Yep.
Like, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
We actually make sure that they're the crappiest looking too.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's fun.
And I'm like trying the pizza, and I'm like, dude, I am a believer.
Absolutely.
Like, this is the best pizza I've ever had. And they're like, yeah, think of what it would taste like in your oven, dude.
Yeah. I think F45, Orange Theory, but I even think like a Planet Fitness. So it's that kind of, their whole model is approachability.
Yeah, inclusive, right?
And so they're targeting markets that are going to feel too intimidated to walk through the front door. They try to get them there with a price point, right?
Right.
But what if you could pre-sale that area by having Fit Trucks there? So now you're breaking down those barriers that we know exist, even at $10 a month or $5 a month or however much it is, and with Hershey Kisses on the front desk, like whatever it
Tootsie
is.
Roll.
Yeah. So like a Planet Fitness, it makes a lot of sense to start to build that community and that rapport before you even, and a lot of times they set up like kind of temporary gyms inside of strip malls and things like that. And
the Spirit Halloween stores.
You still have to go there. So now you're Planet Fitness and you're advancing a sale of a 40,000 square foot space with 2 Fit Trucks or a Fit Truk, and you're building that community and pre-selling. You could sell in the truck. You could sell memberships off of the truck.
No doubt.
Yeah, we have Wi-Fi and everything. I mean, you can literally sell memberships there.
So any gym franchise that their whole business model is trying to capture that market that not every other gym is trying to capture. So I've thought of Planet Fitness often for that reason.
Yeah.
Right.
There's a lot of franchises that I already pretty much have a model in my head because their equipment that they use is so close to what we have on the truck already that they could.
And the technology components. So F45 and Orange Theory both use timers and use video screens. We have those built in,
All
integrated on the truck.
Yeah. I love it, man. The possibilities are endless. You guys are awesome. We appreciate your time. I can't think of any other things that are popping off of my head question-wise. You got anything else?
Just the last question, the least important question of all time. You guys are you from Kansas City too?
I'm not, no.
Where are you from?
I grew up in Winchester, Kansas.
Winchester, Kansas.
Tiny town.
No one knows where that's
Nobody knows where it's at.
I'm from a tiny town in Kansas.
I'm not from a tiny town. I'm from Derby. You guys have heard of Derby.
Of course.
Yeah.
Pretty soon there's going to be a
Never
sign
anything
in
good.
front of Winchester, Kansas that says the home of Josh Guffey.
Look at that.
Because he's going to be that guy.
Fit Truk founder.
400
Fit Truk
people.
founder.
400 people.
Yeah, small school, 2A, 2 towns, still only 2A.
You were prom king and homecoming king?
Yes.
There wasn't anybody else to take it.
8-man football? No?
No, we didn't play. Well, we did play an 8-man game. It was fun. No, but it was it's a very small town. So
Very cool. Very cool.
The question actually is, Kyle, go ahead.
Yes, the question is, you've obviously lived in Kansas City for a long time. We are a Kansas City-based podcast. What is the best barbecue in Kansas City, in you guys' opinion?
You got one spot to bring people. Where you bring them?
One spot?
One spot.
I can't do like my favorite sauce or my favorite.
Oh, Jeff loves that.
We'll
Jeff
allow-
loves elaboration.
We'll allow.
Okay.
We'll allow.
Okay. I just
But if you
want
had
to.
one though, let's say let's hear your one, but then let's hear like your favorites.
So it's hard because you want to give them a Kansas City barbecue experience, but you also want it to be like taste really freaking good.
You can throw F-bombs out on here. It's all good. But yeah.
Fucking good.
Yeah.
I've worked in the gym for a long time. So now that I'm in this more corporate environment, I'm like trying to figure out how not to say fuck all the time.
yeah.
Give up.
Oh, I don't know. It's very hard. I would say probably Q39
For the overall experience.
for the overall experience that they can get, it's nice on the inside, good sauce, good choices of meats and things like that.
The only other one I think that is like comparable, right?
Yeah.
Would be also Jack Stack. So why Q39 over Jack Stack?
I like Q39's barbecue better.
Their burn ends are so damn good.
Yeah, their
They
burnt
are
ends
good.
are my favorite.
Is there a location preference?
Well,
had
I will
both?
say yes, and I will say that the parking is really hard on 39th Street, but
does suck.
I actually like that. I like that it's a little bit kind of smaller. I like that location better, but the parking is terrible.
Horrendous.
You can park right next door though.
I was
now.
almost going to go to Q39, but I might have to go. I'm a big Slaps fan. So
Oh, that's been I love.
it's a little
so
different.
good.
It's a different.
So
it's like
good. It is kind of a
we used to live
quintessential-
close to BB's, so we go there all the time.
Give me your
you know,
favorite Kansas
so-
place, right? Isn't Q39 one in Missouri?
Yep, that's Missouri.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah.
favorite Slaps would be my favorite Kansas
Yeah.
place. But like Gates is so iconic. You go in there, they yell at you. Like that's so fun. You like
it
how
is
does
good.
I only had heard about, so when I'm not from Kansas City, so when I first got here, I only heard that I grew up eating the Gates sauce, and
Yeah.
so I didn't know about the yelling at you part.
Yeah.
I was just like, man, this place sucks. They're all mean in here.
Why are they mean to me?
Yeah, I was like, dude, just give me a second.
What you want?
Yeah.
It's like,
Can I just have a second to look?
Well, and the best part is like you go, like I love going with people and like seeing what they order and then how they order it. And so this friend of mine, because I love French fries, but I don't like really thick French fries. I like thin French fries, and not too thin, but
You're not a wedges person. We're not
no,
trying to
I
put
like
wedges.
no wedges. That's out.
Yeah,
I might as
steak
well
fries
just
are a no.
gross. But Gates has steak fries. So I was like, he was like, I'm going to get the fries. I was like, the fries, gross. Why would you just get a baked potato or something? And he was like, you ask them to double fry the fries and it makes them super
crunchy.
Crispy. It was like a hack that I didn't know existed. So I think that's, you got to go to people's favorite and then figure out what they order and why they order it. So I love that question.
Yeah.
That's a good veteran move right there. So if you had like a tour, if you will, what is your favorite?
I mean, I love Joe's KC. I think they're great. I love Q39. Slaps is definitely on that list. You got to go Gates. It's iconic. I mean, Jack Stack, I'm just sort of like, yeah, okay. I mean, I think the best thing at Jack Stack is their brownie dessert.
Dang, we never
had it.
It's a skillet thing.
I've had the carrot cake cupcakes.
Be careful though. You will literally burn the skin off of the inside of your mouth. You have to let it cool quite a long time.
Okay. It's a pizza roll.
It's molten lava in there.
Molten lava brownie skillet.
They're not kidding about that. Yeah.
They are not.
Now I need to know your choices.
We haven't even told it. You haven't told it. It's just slaps. You don't have to go anywhere else.
I'm a slaps guy too.
Do you know what slaps means?
This shit slaps. Like, it's so great. It slaps.
It's not it.
No, I don't know.
Squeal like a pig.
Oh, is it?
That was their barbecue team.
No shit.
Yeah.
Squeal like a pig.
That was their original
I
barbecue.
thought it was gonna be like, it's so good you slap your mama or something.
I would think the same too. Like, it slaps.
Yeah.
You know? And but yeah, Squeal Like a Pig was their barbecue team name, but they're opening a new one on that new Rock Island Bridge development.
Ooh, that'll be
I didn't know that.
so
That's
awesome.
It's like a
yes.
I live in the
That'll
River
be awesome.
Market, so that's all close to me.
I'm in Columbus Park.
Yeah, he lives right.
Oh,
by
you're right
you.
there too? Mm-hmm. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I like slaps, but I honestly, all Kansas City barbecue outside of, I'm not a fan of Gates barbecue sauce. And last time I had Arthur Bryant's, it was dry. But everything else besides that, I'm pretty, like, I can find something I like on pretty much every menu.
I feel like I can finally say Q39 and not be laughed out of a room because I loved it from the first time I had it. But it was so new that people were like, Q39, what do you know
It's too
about
uppity
barbecue?
for a lot of
Yeah,
people.
I think so, but it's so damn good.
But
though.
it is good. It's just it's undeniably great barbecue.
Even Char Bar, their barbecue is really good and the experience is great.
We sing the praises of the unsung heroes.
Char Bar is like
Char
legit.
Bar.
Yeah.
Beebe's
And actually,
Lawnside.
Char Bar is the only
LCs.
that can be delivered, like on DoorDash or whatever. Char Bar, and they like consistently perform. So if I'm gonna have people over for a Chiefs game, I'm ordering Char Bar.
Yeah.
Our rehearsal dinner was at Char Bar.
That's right.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's so we like we're a wings fan here, and I would tell you some of the best wings you could possibly have are at Jack Stack. They're fire kissed.
Oh, I'm gonna do that.
And they come with a smoked jalapeno.
Are they the whole chicken wing or just like
They're
a
not.
But they are massive.
Okay, I'm okay with them being big in size, but I don't like when I have to
with you.
break
Antibiotics.
I don't want to break that part of the leg off.
That's a peanut thing.
Yeah, I'm like,
right?
But the peanuts blue cheese. Sorry, just to get off.
We're all down the wind.
We've had arguments where I've won every single time on the polls on ranch versus blue cheese on wings. What are you a fan
I'm not getting into that.
I've seen this. I think.
Yeah.
ranch or blue cheese?
I do like ranch. I do like blue cheese too. But if I have to choose, I would say ranch.
Well,
Yeah.
some
I'm ranch
palates are
too.
just not
I'll
as
eat blue cheese,
sophisticated.
but-
Some people just like eating mold.
I do like blue cheese, but I think I'm
agree.
from Kansas.
I'm having
I
a
have
wedge
to
salad,
say ranch.
perhaps. But
Yeah.
on wings,
Ooh,
dude,
a wedge
come on now.
salad with blue cheese.
Pretty good.
Or crumbles, if you will. Also great.
Yes, always good.
So we got wings at Jack Stack. We love. Have you guys tried Wolfpack barbecue yet?
No.
I'm
No.
singing their praises.
We've tried to
Smart.
order it several times for takeout, and they're always out because they're so damn busy. Good.
They're
Wolfpack?
Wolfpack with an E on the end of
That
Wolf.
is,
That's the
okay.
owner's last name.
That is a
Wolf, and he-
4-block walk for me. Straight.
Where?
straight
Okay,
in
so
block.
it's down in the River Market area then.
It's in
Okay.
Columbus
It's on
Park.
Fifth
Columbus Park.
So yeah, just like right across like the Highway 9 bridge.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, they've got so their
Wolfpack.
burn ends and brisket are up there with
Okay.
like some
Really?
of the best I've ever had.
Okay.
So
Specifically-
close.
I'm a
their burn
burnt-in.
ends sell
I'm a
out.
burnt-in connoisseur.
Yeah, I'd love to hear your take on it, honestly, because
Okay.
I've been singing their praises to Kyle and on these episodes for quite a while, and
And
they
so
went
they're
from,
sponsoring you now. They're going to bring
I
some
wish,
food
dude.
in after.
I promise you, they don't even know who I am. I promise, but
Somebody
they,
tag Wolfpack, please.
Yeah, they went from
Jeff's trying to get a sponsorship deal. The first sponsorship
dude.
deal.
I love
of
local
Protein Bros.
Hey, we love supporting local business here. That's what it's all
it's
about.
awesome.
Amen.
But it went from like
Oh my God. I
Right?
can tell just by how they look, they're going to be good.
yeah,
I can
go
tell.
with like the video of them slicing the briskets. That's always fun, right? Look at that brisket piece up there on the right. Luke, give me that one, dude.
Wow.
What are we doing?
Okay,
Come
so
on.
All right, so I'm going this weekend.
So can I tell you a secret? But you can't tell the people in Texas that I said this. So
Sure.
we delivered a truck in Austin, and they're like, "We're going to take you to barbecue, because you're from Kansas City."
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like,
Where'd they bring you?
I'm trying to remember.
I was so
Was it
tired.
like one of their spots?
It
It was
was
one of their spots, and it has outdoor seating.
Terry Black's.
Maybe.
I think it was
It's
actually.
on the south side of Austin.
Yeah, and it was super, super busy.
Always.
Like,
It was line.
parking
It was.
Yeah.
I left when I went there. I
Yeah.
was like, I can't wait in this line.
Yeah.
What the heck is this?
So I don't know. They ordered for us or whatever, and it is the best brisket I've ever had.
Yeah, we were.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't even
Don't
deny
tell
it.
people from Texas that I said that.
Yeah, I
We-
can't
I will
deny
lose
it.
I did
love
want to admit
Texas
it.
brisket. What's the name of the dude that's on the master class for barbecue from Texas? I forgot his name, but his it's like La Barbecue or something like that's the name of his spot.
Yeah.
It was probably the best brisket I'd ever had. But burn ends, Kansas City all day.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
all
not
day.
a lot of people do it. They don't even know.
In Texas, they don't hardly have burn ends. You
Right.
just can get them.
Yeah.
Look at that thing, dude.
Wow.
That's what I'm talking
That's
Whoa.
stunning.
about. They get it. And by the way, they are Texas style.
oh, shit.
They're not Kansas City style.
That's what I'm saying.
I lived in St. Louis for a while, and St. Louis barbecue is really good. I don't like
It is
talking
really
about that
good.
here in Kansas City.
It's
St.
really
Louis
good.
barbecue is really good.
I lived in North Carolina for a while, and I've had some pretty good
Hell yeah.
pulled pork with the
Raleigh
yeah, it's
area?
just all different.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Did you go to the pit?
No, I didn't go to the
Okay,
pit.
sorry.
Yeah,
That was
right.
on like Food Network and stuff, so I tried that spot when I was there.
Yeah,
and
I
it
mean,
was heaven.
there was some, and like I actually kind of like the vinegar base.
I do too.
Mustard
pulled,
base?
yeah, on
Yeah.
a pulled pork sandwich or something. Yeah, I could talk about food all day, especially
Yeah,
barbecue.
we can
All
go
right,
on this for a
episode
bit.
2 with Fit Truk.
Just food.
Just
Yeah.
food reviews.
You have a food truck with Fit Truck.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
well,
saying?
we-
Like,
yeah,
tour. You know
for
what I
sure.
mean?
We could do it. Let's
Yeah.
partner up.
It's I mean, like for real though, as we're promoting Fit Truk around the country, it'd be cool to obviously try all the best food spots.
For sure.
That'd be an
It'd be-
interesting combo.
I mean, it'd be some good content. It makes people.
Josh keeps threatening a tour across the
It's
country.
gonna happen. Yeah.
that'd be
We're
cool.
gonna have to
So when?
we're gonna have to find a way to take his entire family with us though, because he's married and has 2 kiddos. So like, it's got to be like a family event.
We can make that happen.
Yeah,
The
but I think like
5.0.
this
You
summer,
do it in the summer.
Yeah.
this
truck.
summer we'll do
Yeah.
like an educational based, food based, fitness based,
Yeah.
like caravan.
That'd be cool.
Throw some subs
We'll
in there.
hit all
every day.
we'll
feel
hit all
like-
of the influencers and meet them in their cities for big workouts.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah,
well,
we're really excited.
You could do your podcast on the road.
We could do it. I'm in.
we have
Okay.
nothing else going on. Nothing.
I'm just
Obviously.
nothing
This is
else
perfect.
going on.
I've been waiting for you to ask me.
Take Jeff. I gotta say here.
Guys, we love you. We appreciate you.
Thank
We appreciate
you.
your time. If you guys want to find you on, if any of our listeners would like to find you guys on Instagram or whatever social channels you'd like to promote here, please tell them where to find you.
You bet. So for Instagram, Fit Truk Co. That's our corporate arm. That's our sales arm. If you're in Kansas City and you want to book an event or book a class, Fit Truk KC. And then Josh is Josh Guffey on Instagram, and I am Hailee Bland Walsh on Instagram.
Very cool. Thank you guys again.
Yeah, thank you guys for having us. This has been great.
You're the best.
You guys have the best team in Kansas City. Like we are
Thank you,
jealous of
man.
the team that you guys have put together.
We are very lucky.
we
to
talk
have
We are
about
you.
it
very
all
fortunate
the
with
time.
You're
our
not
staff,
lucky.
Mm-hmm.
That is
No,
the thing.
that
You're
was-
not
that was
lucky.
purposeful.
It's clear that it's been
That's what I was
intentional.
going to say earlier, actually.
Yeah, it's been intentional. Honestly, the way that your team has proactively reached out to us, has kind of wrapped their arms around us. It's been so awesome. As small business owners, we got to take care of each other, and your team has done such an amazing job. They've been amazing advocates and ambassadors for us, and it's clear
awesome.
that you're doing something intentional, and it very much lines up with what we do and who we are. So we appreciate it very much.
Every time we've interacted with anybody, any of your employees, it's just been amazing.
Yeah, it makes me want to like buy supplements.
Yeah.
So they come in the gym and it's great. So we love having them. And so this.
Well, yeah,
thank
hopefully
you
we
for
can
having us.
continue to work together in the future, guys.
We'd
We
love that.
appreciate your time, so thank you. And those are awesome compliments. Our staff that we can't take any credit. I mean, that's just all them. You know what I mean? Like Kyle was even talking about earlier today. He's like, wait a second, we did a workout with them? And I was like, are you serious, dude?
I'm bad with social media. I've plugged.
He's off the grid.
That's good.
I don't
That's
blame you
good.
one bit. It's a
should all be off
necessary
the
evil, but I don't blame you one bit.
But no, dude, we just like you guys talked about earlier with core values, we very much live by ours and preach that within our company. And it's awesome to see them take those things and do it on their own without anybody having to tell them. You know what I mean? So
Well,
tons of praise for
you're
them.
doing it right when you hire the right people, and you've got the right culture, the right people stay, the folks who aren't meant for you go. And that's the,
long
that's
term
the recipe.
Long term. All right, guys. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And excited to see where you guys, let's do this again next year. And let's talk
I think
about where
summer
you're at.
2024
Let's-
world tour, or
let's
at least
go.
North American tour. Let's
We'll
go.
have our own truck by then.
Hashtag let's go.
Barbecue tour.
Yeah, we'll get those contracts out.
Thanks again, guys.
Thank you.